That was a pretty good call with the director of sales and marketing for a big hotel out in Minneapolis. They're super interested. They want to work with us in the next few months. They really liked our Ritz-Carlton videos. Kind of a fun tidbit that she just told me at the end was, so we had been talking to the director of marketing, separately from the GM, but the GM had seen one of our posts on LinkedIn that the Ritz had shared from our work with the Ritz and sent it to her and said, "Oh, I really like this." And she was like, "Oh, those are the guys that I told you about last week." So two separate occurrences, they've heard of us, and that's just good social proof for them. So I think that it's gonna work out with them and gonna be a pretty big project for us. In terms of like lead time, we're pretty flexible. Usually, obviously we're not gonna schedule it the week before, but if we have at least 2 to 3 weeks is usually kind of the minimum that we want. Usually with hotels and resorts, it's usually gonna end up being 1 to 2 months. It's usually the standard time. But if you guys get it approved and realize you want it, and you're saying, "Hey, let's go as soon as possible," we can get out there pretty quick. Awesome. It would still probably with that size be a 2-day shoot. So we'd probably fly in, the night before, and then typically, something we'd have to discuss is your thoughts on filming with guests and people in the spaces. So most of ours, it's inevitable that there's going to be people present, and we have ways of making sure that they're not, in the shots specifically. We can't see their face because then you got to get waivers and all that. It's good to have signage, outside the elevator, at the front door, and usually we'll walk around at first for whoever's there and just tell them, "Hey, there's gonna be a drone flying through." The main thing with guests is we just need them to know to not look at the drone, because it's, it ruins the shot if people are looking up at it, because then you can, it doesn't quite look authentic like you want it to. Drones are very safe. They're about this big, fit in the palm of your hand, and foam padded and everything, so they're harmless, can't hurt anybody. It's usually pretty standard and simple film process. We're not a massive production company that's going to bring a crap ton of gear and big luggage carts and everything. No, we travel light, and we're pretty efficient with what we do, so it's a pretty easy process. What I always tell everybody is there's like 2 sides of what we do. So one is the drone tours. That's kind of the virtual tour aspect where the drone flies through in one take. It's more of a tour than like a cinematic experience, I guess. And then, so some people hire us just for that, for sales, for like if they want to show off their meeting spaces. And then the other side is, standard videography, which is what most video companies would come do. It's lifestyle, it's really detailed, it's really pretty. And so that package that you are talking about is when we merge both of those together to make a really complete video, and you get everything I just talked about. Awesome, sounds good. I will make a note to, 2.5 weeks to follow up with you if I don't hear from you, and then yeah, hopefully we can make it happen in the next few months. Getting our hot girl walk. Yeah. This morning, my friend Raph and I went on a bike ride down by Torrey Pines here in San Diego at 6:30 this morning. And once I got back, I got right to work, went and worked out of a coffee shop called Coffee here in Leucadia. One of the things that we're working on is, so we have basically tiers to the type of work that we do. And commercial real estate is a big industry for us, and we have our, obviously, FPV indoor drone tours. That's typically reserved for the more advanced properties that are, Class A, or, show a nice interior, something that people are going to move in right away and use the office for. But then we also have certain clients that are across the country and sell properties that all they need is basic exterior videos and maybe a few photos. So we've been grappling with how to get more of those. So we have one client that we've done probably 12 different properties in the last couple months with him, where it's super easy. We just contract out somebody that's local in the area, pay him a pretty decent rate, charge the client for us to do the editing and to find the drone pilot, and we're basically the managers of the project, and we do the editing, etc. So we're toying with the idea of doing more of that, because we know that there's more agents that have these smaller listings. It's just, for the most part, when people see our brand and see our work, they automatically think that we're the most expensive, which we are pretty expensive when it comes down to the indoor drone tours piece. But we're trying to figure out how to get more people to realize, like, hey, no, if you just need to sell this random McDonald's and get a couple exterior shots, we can do it for, you know, $1,000 versus a lot more. So that's just something I'm thinking about today. Also trying to get a hold on all of the mini projects we have going on right now. So Mo and our photographer Drew from New York are down in South Florida shooting 8 different co-working office spaces for a franchise down there that we've worked with before. I'm staying home and working, and because I'm traveling in a few weeks, I didn't want to go out there. Other than that, Mo was up in Tahoe last week filming a really beautiful lifestyle video that I think is the best, like, residential video that we've ever made. It has a voiceover, it's emotional, it's amazing. So we're getting that completed. We had, with that commercial real estate client I was talking about, we had a shoot in Midland, Texas, which is kind of in the middle of nowhere. Yesterday, we have another one in Memphis coming up. We just finished one with him in Omaha. And we actually started a project today in Ventura with a local LA drone pilot. It's going to be 5 different visits to this house, and they're doing solar installation, so we're getting like a process video for that. We are in the pre-production process of shooting a massive estate that's going to be, you know, probably around $100 million up in the Santa Monica or Santa Barbara area. So a lot going on, and you know, we're just trying to make it happen this summer, trying to stay as busy as possible, pay down a little bit of the debt that we have, figure out how to get us profitable so that we can continue to scale, and then eventually hire more and more team members. He'll have the link from Tonemo, because Mo does that really well. So then, because you can go to that folder from Tonemo, you just click the project that's in progress, and then you just click the little Dropbox icon, and it takes you right to it. We don't usually do stuff that's less than thousands of dollars, but I mean, it kind of depends on what exactly you're looking for. Like if you have multiple in one place. So what I'm going to tell you, like, we could probably do that or get close to matching it if we're doing both of the properties up there, you know, because it makes sense for us to come up to, you know, go to SAC because it's only a half-hour drive. That was a guy working in commercial real estate that had a couple properties up in Sacramento, but kind of typical. He had done photos and video with somebody before for a pretty cheap price, and we usually can't match that, but that's okay. Can't do them all. Still a good call, still good to practice, good to hear from people, and good to know that we're showing up, because that was from one of our Google ads.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's crazy. I was like, someone was like, I know a lot of people in Tahoe. What do you need? And I'm like, oh my gosh, there were like 6 messages. That's crazy. So we'll have a better scenario for models next time, but I'm glad we're able to improvise for this one. And
that's what I would recommend. That's us giving you a good rate, because I believe you guys are going to get a lot of these. So if you can do plus travel, that'd be great. And just ensuring that, yeah, we have more than 2 hours with the models.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, Jack, for pulling this together so quickly. We're excited to see it.
Because I'm going to be gone in Paris at the Olympics in 2 weeks. I'm going to be gone for about 18 days. We are planning just basically how everything's going to run with me being in Paris. I'm still going to have time to do non-live work, so not answering phones and stuff, because I think the time zone is like 9 hours difference. So figuring out who's going to be doing the things that I usually do. So Zach's going to be answering the phone and handling the prospecting and basically keeping our CRM updated. Each night I'm going to try to update or just review all the videos that are coming in, make sure everything's looking good, and then I'm going to try before I leave for the trip to have a lot of social media posts scheduled and ready to go, so that I don't have to do as much of that out in Paris. for, but I am in Paris going to be creating a lot of content every day, both on my photo account, my personal account, to really try to grow my brand there, and show people the process of being a photographer at the Olympics, because that stuff tends to do pretty well. It is very cool to see the effects that, you know, long-term brand play has, you know, has shown up for us in recent months. You know, right now we have, you know, at least a dozen or 2 dozen projects, you know, in the pipeline or currently being worked on, and just like basically looking at the funnel, or whatever you want to call it, of where these projects came from, you know, along the map. You know, some of them are people that I first talked to 3 years ago. Some of them are people coming directly from a Google ad. Some of them are referrals from another client we worked with. Some of them are repeat clients. You know, there's so many webs that make up an entire business, and that lead to a successful business that can scale. And we're kind of starting to see that now, which it's just pretty incredible to you know, kind of sit back on and watch, because, you know, it's cool to be able to build something from scratch and have, you know, a lot of different people trusting you with their luxury, whatever it is, property, business, idea, you know, having them trust you and come to you and pay their hard-earned money, even if it's a company budget, it's still money that they could be spending elsewhere. So it's pretty humbling to think about and see, and just it makes me want to continue to work harder and get even better and get us up to that next level. Just a little gratitude thought. One of my least favorite parts of being a business owner is dealing with insurance. I can't stand insurance companies. More so, I can't stand the requirement that certain places have for insurance. I understand, I get it. They have to protect themselves. They don't want to lose money, but the whole concept of it is crazy. Like, just, you guys wouldn't believe some of the requirements that certain organizations or you know, property management companies have required of us. So, not one of my favorite parts of the job. Something that has to get done. You know, managing insurance, figuring out our policies, getting new policies for people. It ain't fun. Chime in the comments about what music you listen to while you work. I'm currently doing lo-fi. But I'm curious, some people say no lyrics, some people say Hans Zimmer, some people say no music, some people blast rock. I'm curious. It's interesting to test out how the flow states and things like that work, based on what you're listening to and where you're working. Something I'm working on today is reaching out to other photographers that work in especially the hotel space, but also like commercial real estate photographers, etc. Because they are other people that have hotel clients, and oftentimes those hotel clients are looking for video or drone work, and those photographers can't fulfill that. And so it's a good way to create these sort of partnerships, referral partnerships, I guess, to get in with that type of clientele without going directly to them. Just another way to plant a seed and to build those relationships that eventually can lead to client work. Like, there's one that I happened to send an Instagram message to last year, and he's got like 3 projects in the pipeline for us, 3 different big hotel projects. So you never know who's going to be the person to vouch for you, and it doesn't always have to be the client that's going to pay you. A little tidbit. Lindsay just got home from work. I spent a good amount of hours in coffee today and working from here. I am about to go swim for my first double exercise in one day in a very long time, but I'm tired of sitting after the last 9-10 hours. So I'm gonna go swim. Probably gonna pick up some Mendocino Farms on the way home, because she could cook food, but I want a sandwich. My roommate Joe, who was just sick yesterday, wants to make it in the vlog. Thinks he's getting close to me with his sick self.
I'm back.
Hi, Joe.
Hi.
Come say hi.
How's it going?
Give some inspiration.
Don't give up on your dreams. If you're down one day, you can always come back the next, like I just did.
Don't let your dreams be memes. Good job, Joe.
Thanks, buddy. Anytime.